What's going on, YouTube, man? Welcome back to another video. Now, before we jump into today's video, man, you should have know what you should have been did. Like, comment, and subscribe if you're not already subscribed, because we trying to save the world. We trying to save as many people as we possibly can. So make sure you hit that post notification bell so you don't get that post nut clarity, my guys. Now listen, before we jump into the video, you should have know what you should have already been did. Make sure you guys are checking out all the links down below in my description box. If you want any beneficial things that's going to help you in your life, all the links you need will be posted down below. Also, you guys, make sure you're following me on TikTok, follow my Instagram. You know what I'm saying? I want you guys to run my numbers up on those platforms, because I'm trying to get this message out, not only on YouTube, but on other platforms as well, so they can all come back to my channel, right? So everything you guys do, it will be a benefit to the channel, right? If you're a real one, everything that you do outside of this channel is a benefit to helping this channel grow. So I appreciate everybody that takes the time to like the video, to comment, and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? So without further ado, let's jump right into the video. So you guys, I want you guys to know that for those of you guys who are relying on your own strength still, for those of you guys who are, you know, still in the new age, wearing crystals and seeking out spirit guides and listening to these witches posting tarot card readings. And I'm not trying to bash you, because I was once there. I used to watch tarot card readings. I used to be heavy on knowing my zodiac signs and what it means. And you know, every day I used to wake up back in 2020, the first thing I would do is check my reading for the day, check my zodiac reading for today. And I made that an idol in my life. And in the Bible, in Leviticus, it literally tells us that we shouldn't have any other idols before God, right? God should be the number one idol in our hearts. So back in 2020, I was put in all types of astrology. You know, I was looking into the future. I wanted to foresee my future. So every single day I would wake up and I would be curious, because as humans, we're very curious about what's going to happen next. You know, a lot of us, we're stuck on how many kids we're going to end up having. Are we ever going to get married? When are we going to find the one? A lot of us get stuck on things like that, like, are we ever gonna get rich? You know, stuff like that. And as humans, I feel like we can get trapped in that cycle, worrying too much about the future. And that's where, you know, foreseeing your future and reading up about or just watching tarot card readings and things like that's foreseeing your future, that's where it becomes detrimental. Big reason why God doesn't want us to foresee our future is because, let's say we already know what lies ahead in our future. Let's say we know one day we're going to become rich. Let's say we know we're going to end up in the big mansion with the wife and the kids, just living happily ever after, right? Let's say we already know these things. Why would we need God? Right? Why would we need God if we already know what the future holds? And this is why God tells us that we shouldn't seek out these things. Because once we seek out these things, there isn't going to be a need for him. There isn't going to be a need for him if we already know that we're set. Right? The reason why God wants us to rely on him, and the reason why he wants us to love him with all our strength, all our soul, all our mind, is because, you know, once we rely on him, once we're aware that he's the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, once we're aware of that, this is when he can use that to his glory, right? When he realizes that we have humbled ourselves, and we're relying on not our strength but his strength, he can use that to his glory, right? And that's why we have to seek the kingdom and his righteousness, so all other things can be added on to us, right? So don't be a person who's waking up each and every single day looking at, what, let's say you're a Gemini or a Pisces. Don't be reading up on, oh, this is today's reading for a Gemini. Like, you know what I'm saying? I used to be so deceived in that mindset until I realized none of that stuff was truly accurate, because you were living in a false reality. A lot of the times those readings were not even accurate. And unknowingly, a lot of people are opening doors for the enemy to attack their life. Because you might be thinking, like, your reading might tell you, like, oh, you're going to meet your wife today when you go out into the world, and you're going to be so disappointed when none of that happens. Right? And that's where the enemy is going to use that's when the enemy is going to use those open doors to attack your mind. Right? So we shouldn't be seeking after anything if it's not of God. Right? We should be relying on God. We should be obedient to God. We should be patient and trust his timing instead. Right? When you wake up first thing in the morning, you should do is crack open your Bible, start reading, start worshiping, right? Start praying, thanking him for a new day that he has given to you, right? That is a habit that I had to train myself to master. And now I wake up every single day and I do these things. And no, I'm not perfect, but I try to at least give God some time out of every single day, right? Before I go to work, before I go to the gym, before I record this video, I say a prayer, right? So to get back on topic, that's why God doesn't want us to know our future, because he wants us to rely on him, right? He doesn't want us to be going to other things for answers. He doesn't want us to be seeking after other things for answers. Only he truly knows where you are currently in life and where he's taking you, right? So only he can truly answer these questions. So once you start to seek after God, he will start giving you revelations on where you're going to be in the future. You don't have to be reading up on, oh, I'm going to be a millionaire by the time I'm 30, because what if that doesn't happen? What if that's not God's will for your life? Right? So that's why God doesn't want us to foresee into the future, because a lot of the times when we're relying on things that are outside of God, it might not be true. It might not be true. Right? A lot of the times that can be the enemy giving you false stories to make you believe in something that is not really true. And then when you're expecting these things to come to pass and they never pass, that's when you're going to be disappointed. And that's when you're going to, continuously, fall into, ruts of confusion, depression. That's when all these things are going to align, because you are not trusting in God's timing. So we need to trust that only God has the answers for our life. We need to trust that God knows where he wants us and when he wants us there, right? And start trusting in that more. So don't worry about where you're going to be, in the next 5 years from now, in the next 10 years from now. And I know it's tempting as humans. We want to know what's next, right? Every question on a human's mind, I don't care who you are, every question of a human is, what happens after we die, right? I'm sure that's your question right now watching this video. If it's not right now, I know you've thought about this question at least once or twice in your life. What happens after we die? God doesn't want you to worry about these things. He wants you to cast all your burdens on up to him, right? And trust that everything is going to go according to his will. Trust that he's going to appoint everything to happen for your greater good. Trust that everything, after all is said and done, you're going to have an expected end, right? It's all about trusting. Just trust God. Don't trust the universe. You know, don't be the person that's worshiping the creation but not giving back the power to the creator. You know, because that's essentially what you're doing when you're thanking the universe, when you're reading up on your zodiac signs, when you're reading up on these tarot card reading videos. That's what you're essentially doing. So we have to learn to trust God's timing and understand where he has us right now in life and where he's taking us. That's why we have to seek that relationship with him, so we can have a better grasp, a better understanding of who he is and the role he plays in our lives as individuals. Right? So God doesn't want you to look into your future. God doesn't want you to worry about your future. The Bible tells us to not be anxious for tomorrow already has its worries of its own. Right? So take your mind off of the future and be present with God. Be present with your relationship with God, because only he knows what he has in store for you. Right? So that was my video for today, man. I hope you guys took something valuable today. I just wanted to give you guys this quick revelation. You know what I'm saying? I had it stored up and I wanted to talk about this because I used to do this, and I'm sure a lot of people on this channel probably still do this. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to give you some perspective on what you may be doing wrong. So if you took something valuable or learned something new today, make sure to drop a like. Comment down below your thoughts and opinions, man. Share this video with a friend because they most definitely will need it. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I'll catch you in the next one, and I'm out.